Hello, welcome to another Tubi Horror Tuesdays on House of Shadows and Ink. I'm Kevin Lucia, and I'm coming to you from on the road for this show because this weekend, the weekend before it airs, I am at Dead Man Hands Expo in Albany doing the convention thing. But Tubi Horror Tuesdays waits for no man. So I've got some very interesting selections for you this week. Some of them great, some of them emotional, heartfelt, some of them kind of weird. So let's just dive right in. Now, again, the great thing about Tubi is, let's say you've had your eye on a horror movie for a while, but you weren't sure of its quality. You're like, I don't know, do I really want to watch this? Do I want to pay the money to watch this? And the answer is no. And then again, one day you log on to Tubi, and there she is. And that's our first movie tonight, Hobo with a Shotgun, with Rutger Hauer. Now, this movie's been on my radar for a while, but I wasn't sure if it was really something I was going to like. It's obviously a throwback to the exploitation films of like the 80s, like Street Trash, Cannibal Holocaust, others. I just wasn't sure it was my speed, but hey, I'm in a hotel for the weekend at a convention. Let's watch Hobo with a Shotgun. It does not disappoint. First of all I have to do is say two things. Rutger Hauer. That should sum up the movie right there. But it's a really great film. Yes, it is very hyper-violent. It's about this town, this city that is torn apart by crime, literally. Almost lavishly so, kind of ridiculously. That the crime is this bad. It's like a war zone, basically. And Rutger Hauer is a wanderer who has just wandered into town and never been there before, and he deals with all the punishment that a homeless person would have to deal with. Harassment, things like that. The police are corrupt, and he watches people suffer over and over and over again, and you can kind of see it building in him. And Rutger Hauer does a wonderfully nuanced performance. Of a guy who's homeless, and he probably had some kind of life before that, but now here he is, he's stuck in this wasteland. Well, finally, Rutger Hauer has had enough. He's in a pawn shop when some guys bust in, hold a lady hostage, point a gun at her baby, and Rutger Hauer looks up on the wall, and there's a shotgun for $49. Apparently it's also loaded, too. Unless he loaded it when we weren't looking at him. But suddenly he grabs the shotgun and lays waste to all the punks. And shenanigans ensue. Again, it's a really hyper-violent film, but I love Rutger Hauer's portrayal in this. It does elevate it above. It's like an homage, and it's Magnet Films, so they're going to do good stuff. But it's really an homage to that exploitation film era, and Rutger Hauer puts in a sterling performance. Probably one of his more under-noticed performances. So, Hobo with a Shotgun. The next film is Dario Argento's Mother of Tears. Now, some of you may not know this, okay, but this is actually part of his Witch trilogy, which comprises of Suspiria, Inferno, and now Mother of Tears, because all movies are about these ancient witches and have their houses, like these massive houses across the country, the world, where they've consolidated their power. And Suspiria is about one, Inferno is about one, and Mother of Tears is about one. It's a delightfully surreal, bizarre experience. Trigger warning, within the first 10 minutes, somebody's being strangled with their own intestines. So if you have a weak stomach, then this might not be the film for you. But basically, an urn is unearthed with a coffin, and in this urn there's like this tattered red tunic, and of course it's brought to the Vatican to be studied. And as it turns out, we've released the soul of an ancient witch who basically wants to destroy us all. Spread chaos everywhere. And that's what starts happening in Rome, Italy, is people just start going crazy, killing each other, raping each other, running in the streets, beating each other up, as violence is just spreading like a plague across the city. Of course, we have our one main character, who is the daughter, as it turns out, she's the daughter, played by Asia Argento, the daughter of a good witch, and this witch wants to destroy her before she can threaten her rule. It's got all that craziness of Italian horror that if you love Italian horror, then you'll really dig this. Mother of Tears. The next one is a really heartfelt story basically about brothers. It's called Devil in the Dark. It's about two estranged brothers who have not spoken in many, many years. Your typical story. The oldest was the favorite. He went hunting and fishing with his dad. The youngest was kind of the outcast, never really fit in anywhere. The thing that they hint at that we don't really get a lot about, but it's almost better that way, is that when they were kids and hunting, the younger one got lost for several hours, and nobody could find him, until they finally found him just kind of standing and shivering in the cold. Years later, the younger brother has decided that he wants to bury things with his older brother, put the past to rest, and he wants to come out and hike up to this plateau, and do some hunting, and just spend some camping time with his brother. It's a good idea, but as soon as he gets home, sparks kind of fly, that things are tense. During their camping, the beginning of it, they're kind of bickering over little things, but there's something in the woods. Something that maybe took the younger brother all those years ago and wants him back. It's an excellent film. Trigger warning again, kind of a down ending. But really, this is one of those examples of a horror film that's really about brothers, about trying to find your place, and what do you do if you don't fit in, and like I said, we would love to think that there was a moment in the movie where they healed everything and they came to closure. Real life doesn't work like that, though. But it's an excellent film. Our next film is H.P. Lovecraft, Two Left Arms. This is an Italian film. It's not in Italian, but it's filmed in Italy. It's very, very clearly all Italian actors. And in this one, a former... he used to live in Italy, and then went to the U.S., and he came back. He's restoring an old church. But there's rumors of this ancient cult in Italy where a man was given a forbidden book. And in this forbidden book is knowledge of the deepest, darkest sort. And our main character, our art historian, becomes embroiled with his horse. There's a beautiful lady involved. And he's supposed to be like the avatar of the end of the world. This one was sometimes a little hard to follow. It was good, but like where Mother of Tears had that Italian horror bizarreness, but there was more of a coherent story. You were left a little kind of with H.P. Lovecraft's Two Left Arms, kind of like, It does feature Carter Randolph, of course, the classic H.P. Lovecraft character. It's a good film. It's a good afternoon weekend film. It's weird. It's got that nice Lovecraftian bent to it. So, Two Left Arms. H.P. Lovecraft's Two Left Arms. The next one, we've got some more cosmic horror for you. Older Gods. Older Gods is a story about a friend whose best childhood friend in Ireland, I believe it is, hangs himself. Leaves behind all this weird research and hangs himself. So, Chris, our main character, goes over to Ireland, even with his newborn is like on the way, but he just drops everything and goes to Ireland, which I thought that might have been a little bit, they must have, I guess that was supposed to tell us how close their friendship was growing up. I thought that a little odd that you would just kind of bail out on your newborn being born, but it's a really good film because the brother and a team of researchers, they were tracking down this mysterious cult that worshipped older gods. And his brother and they were being tempted, not his brother, his friend, they were being tempted to become, again, kind of like in H.P. Lovecraft's Two Left Arms, being tempted to be part of this awakening of it. And the more doors we open, the more we wake it up. And it can stop sleeping and dreaming. Good film. I really like this. Really good suspense. The ending is not bad either. Like, the ending is got, like, sometimes with cosmic horror movies, there's a lot that happens. It gets really depressing and bleak, and there's not really a payoff at the end. There's a nice payoff at the end of this. Older Gods. My final movie, and perhaps the best was saved for last. The Good Things Devils Do. It's a Halloween movie. It has Kane Hodder in it. He doesn't last very long. He's a psycho, appropriately. This is kind of a fun... First of all, the practical effects in this are great. Okay, the practical effects... Oh, Linnea Quigley is also in it. The practical effects are great. It was very much like a let's create a bloody horror movie, of blood and guts and really shocking things and stuff like that. Acting wasn't bad. Basically the upshot is this museum, this collector of weird things, Linnea Quigley's husband, second husband, by the way. And he has this museum of the oddities and all these strange things, and he gets shipped, of course, in a coffin, the skeleton of an ancient goddess. Now, this ancient goddess, however, when Linnea Quigley accidentally pulls something out of the skeleton's chest that looks like a table leg, turns out our ancient goddess is an evil vampire. And there's no sexiness in this vampire. This vampire is nasty, bloody, and it wants to tear your guts out. And then it becomes a fight for survival because Kane Hodder, Bill Obrist, and the one who's playing his daughter are criminals who are going to rob this place and try to get some money. And, of course, they get trapped there just as the vampire goddess has been resurrected. And they are fighting for survival while stuck in the home. This one was good. A little on the lower side, very independent. Some brutal scenes, So again, just a trigger warning for that. There's some pretty nasty scenes in this, and it's funny because it's acted well. It's kind of lighthearted, but it's not really a romp. I don't know if I'd call it a comedy, but it is at the end of the day a very interesting film. The Good Things Devils Do. So that's my roundup for this week's Tubi Horror Tuesdays. Hobo with a Shotgun, Mother of Tears, Older Gods, Devil in the Dark, H.P. Lovecraft's Two Left Arms, and The Good Things Devils Do. Go out and enjoy your Tubi.